it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday morning, which means there is more Duggar tea. Every day there's something new related to the Duggars, and these girls or young women have a way of sparking controversy with basically every single thing that they post. Now, a video that she uploaded, Jessa Seewald, to her YouTube channel with a preview on her Instagram made some fans concerned. Now, the comments were pretty split, but I will say that I had several of my subscribers sending me this video saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing this. Whereas other people were like, there's no big deal. I thought I'd bring it here and you guys can decide. Okay, so Jessa posted a video on YouTube where she discusses a favorite recipe. She's spent a lot of time on her YouTube posting recipes and just sort of daily family things. She has made painting, she's done painting, she's done, she's built playgrounds for her kids. Jessa is a pretty handy individual, and she's starting to teach her kids those same skills. The Duggars ascribe to this sort of mentality that children should be able to participate and contribute to family cooking and cleaning and teaching everyday life skills at a young age. Jessa has admitted on her YouTube that she prefers to treat her children like adults rather than children and dress them like adults rather than children. So it shouldn't be a surprise that a cooking episode with Spurgeon, who is by far one of the cute, is extremely cute and seems to overtake almost all of her YouTube stuff, cooking. And it wasn't necessarily the cooking, but it was the cutting part that had people scratching their heads. I'll show you the clip and I'll talk you through some of these comments.
Everything in the box. First we wash it like this. Then go back next. Then go top. First we take it and then just cut off the end. Go on to this end and cut it skinny. It's called a slow pot. I'm a little baby tiny bowl.
You do have a baby tiny bowl. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Alright, so
And then at the end of that video, Mr. Henry actually goes ahead and cuts with the knife as well. So we see Spurgeon teaching us how to scrub the celery down to clean it, and then he goes to a cutting board and he uses what looks like a 5-inch utility knife, and he cuts the celery. He appears to have really good, he's holding on to the end and he's cutting like this. He seems to have pretty good eye-hand coordination. Some people were concerned about the size of the knife. Other people were concerned by the fact that Henry was very close to him. Others concerned that she was filming this, which could have been leading to issues because her supervision was distracted by the filming, okay? Nothing these ladies ever do is without controversy. So on her Instagram comments, people were like, oh my gosh, my nerves seeing the kids with that knife. So cute, the knife skills, way to go. Other people were, a lot of them were praising him, saying, he's doing such a good job. I can't believe he's got such good eye-hand coordination, better than adults. This one said, it's so great that you have the boys so interested in cooking and helping out. Please use a smaller paring knife for chopping. I was so nervous watching this. So it was the size of the object that she used that made people uncomfortable. Whoa, I was so nervous with him using that knife. He did well and will probably be a great chef. Other people sort of clap back at this when people did leave critical responses saying she's doing a phenomenal job, as clearly noted by how she's taught him. And then others were saying, wow, you know nothing about me and get mean right away. I made a suggestion, as toddlers with a knife too big for the job is dangerous. My adult children and grandchildren would beg to differ about my child rearing knowledge. So a lot of people were concerned about the size. Again, I didn't let my kids touch anything like that until they were 10. Others said he's way too not young to use that. My 4-year-old son chopped vegetables with our salad tonight. So it appeared as though people were sort of back and forth. And obviously this person says, buckle up because the haters are going to come after you with that knife. That said, bravo. I know parents who don't let their 10 or 13-year-olds do it. Teach them young and show them properly, and look well, they will do. The knife with your kids. Oh my gosh, this post made me so nervous. So it was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth of all these not nervous comments. And it was very, very, very split. Okay. So then I asked my subscribers what they thought, and they thought she's being supervised. She was doing a good job, that, 3 and 4-year-olds might be a little bit too young for them for this. Others said they weren't sure. Some said it made them feel nervous. A Head Start teacher actually showed up and said that she felt that, as long as he has good eye-hand coordination and good motor skills, it's all about whatever the child's skill sets are. Now, in this case, she was supervising him and he was handling the object fine. The fact that Henry was close to him had some people concerned. And at the very end, she guided Henry and helped him cut it, which made people like, oh my gosh, Henry's only 3 years old. Well, I wanted to find out what would be recommended by experts. So an article on Epicurious, they talked about children cooking, and they actually spoke to Cricket Azima, who's a professional chef, and they wrote a book called Everybody Can Cook. And in that article, Azima said that children develop and are ready for tasks at different times. They are quoted to say, "It's important to think about the individual child and what he or she can handle developmentally. It's important that the child is able to be successful at the task at hand, regardless of age. Supervision in the kitchen is important." And then with that being said, Azima actually suggested that children that are toddlers and preschoolers start with a plastic knife that can cut food at the dinner table. And then he said around age 3 to 5, kids can chop vegetables in the kitchen using the same small plastic knife. And that you don't need to go and buy like any child-friendly plastic knives. They said, even the ones that come in at a takeout set are great. And then they suggested moving to a smaller paring knife around age 9. They said it's bigger and packs more punch, but it's still lightweight and serrated, making it perfect for more experienced kids. So this cook or chef and child expert on bringing kids into the kitchen suggests that you wait a little bit longer, suggesting that maybe kids practice with a duller plastic serrated knife instead of moving up to those larger utility knives. Now, the Montessori school of thought, this is a school that's like private. They're all about teaching children like life skills, and several people in comments suggested that Montessori would teach children to use a regular sized knife, and as long as they have proper handling of the knife and they're using it and they're being supervised by a parent and taught safety, that it's as long as the child is comfortable with it and can use it safely is what matters the most. Now, it's going to be a heated debate no matter which way you look at it, as long as there's the people that say he's way too young, this is way beyond his skill set. There's those that say, you know what, he looks fine, his eye-hand coordination is great, he seems to be doing this well. And it's unclear whether, we know how sharp this knife is. It could be a very dull utility knife that she's just letting him learn with. Hard to know. Again, the one criticism here is that a lot of Duggar critics will go on and say that the children are taught at a very young age to work, and that they are brought into doing things and they become more like a workhorse than they do a child. So in this case, cooking is fun, but is cooking fun when your child is being taught that they need to cook, they need to clean, they need to take care of the house? Because if Jessa does follow in the suit of her mother, she could end up having a very large family, and with Spurgeon being the oldest child, would rely on him a lot to help her in the kitchen. So is she training him to become her next helper? With that being said, is it as simple as Spurgeon and Jessa and Henry having fun in the kitchen, or is it more nefarious, quiverful? He's going to be a workhorse, and he's going to basically help raise these kids. We know that the young girls, or the oldest girls, typically become the caregivers of any younger children following. In the case of Jessa, her 2 oldest are boys, and there's a 4-year age difference between Spurgeon and Ivy. So we're not sure how many more kids Jessa's going to have. She's teased that the next time she has a child, she wouldn't mind having an epidural. And we know that she is still a part of the IBLP and very much ingrained in that world still. So I'm guessing that she and Ben will have as many children as they can. She's never publicly said that she wouldn't. Whereas Ginger and Jill have been more open about how they practice birth control, and they may not be interested in having a lot of kids. So, what do you think about all of this? Are the critics making too much of an issue out of it, or should she be concerned, and is she trusting her children too much with things that are beyond their scope of understanding? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.